Well, hey there, folks. I'm Meteorologist Matt Barrentine getting things set up here in our digital center. Of course, we are keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Idalia tonight here along the Gulf Coast, and it's kind of making a little loop-de-loop down there near Cozumel, just hanging out by the beaches, I suppose, gathering its strength. And eventually, though, it's going to start taking a turn to the north-northeast and working its way into the Gulf of Mexico. We're already starting to see that little bit of a turn, but it'll really pick up more for it tomorrow as we move into the upcoming week. So obviously got it up here on the satellite. That is Idalia right here. You can see it there around Cozumel. And there's Cuba here, of course, the southern end of Florida around Miami, Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, to kind of give you a good idea of where we are looking at. See if I can't get this thing to zoom on in a little bit tighter in the storm. You can see right in the middle here, we're starting to see a nice a blow up of clouds and thunderstorms. That's the system showing itself, starting to wrap itself around and get itself together here with Idalia. Here are the latest numbers. These just came in at 7 o'clock. So just came in here this evening. It has winds now 45 miles an hour. It did pick up from the last update where it was at 40 miles per hour. The other thing to note here is it's now moving to the east-northeast at 3. So it's starting to make that northeasterly turn. And you can see what it's been doing. That line there is the past. And now it's starting to make a little bit more of a turn to the northeast. Like I said, that'll pick up even more coming up tomorrow. All right, so the all-important track, the all-important timing. What are we looking at here? Well, we're looking at almost certainly a storm that's going to come in well east of our area, okay? Our impacts look to be pretty minimal with this. That said, obviously, this track can shift around a little bit, and we are going to obviously have to watch, see if it tries to make a little more of a turn to the west. But for now, it looks like it's going to hit somewhere between Apalachicola, that's right there, and the Tampa Bay area. And you can see gathering strength all the way up to Category 2 of around 100-mile-per-hour winds is what's being forecasted at landfall, and that's early in the morning on Wednesday. By the time it actually made landfall, obviously, if it makes more of an easterly turn, it'll make landfall around midnight on Wednesday, early Wednesday morning, so late Tuesday night. But if it goes more to the north here, it'll be more like Wednesday morning and folks around dawn or so when it would make a landfall. So either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. So this is going to happen pretty quickly because, you know, here it is Sunday night. We're talking about a storm that's going to make landfall Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, and it's really just sort of getting its act together. Here's another look at it. See right here around Cozumel. Also, we have Hurricane Franklin over here. That's going to be kind of interesting in the long term with this storm Idalia. Look at the water temperatures here. They're rocket fuel, so that's what we do anticipate. Even though the storm doesn't have a whole lot of time, it still likely will get up to Category 2 strength. So that's just because these waters upraise near 90 degrees. That's rocket fuel. That is really very warm water. In fact, it's about 2 degrees, 3 degrees above normal, even for this time of year. So that's warm stuff out there. Right now, there's a pretty good amount of wind shear that's going to have to deal with for the very first part. But this wind shear is also expected to weaken as the big high that's been over our area for so long, baking us. We got to 105 again today. That's moving off to the west. Our temperatures are coming down, folks. Today was the last day of triple-digit temperatures, thankfully. We will have cooler temperatures this week. But that'll also lessen the wind shear out here and help this storm out with its development. So what are we talking about here? Well, the main impacts are going to be off to our east. We're going to be on the left side of the storm. Remember, it's rotating counterclockwise like this. That means our winds will be out of the north. We are going to have to watch out for dangerous rip currents. Anytime the storm is in the Gulf, we need double red flags up. It is going to be rough in the water from Monday on, so just keep that in mind. There will be offshore winds. We won't get a storm surge, so that won't happen here, okay? And some small track shifts, like I said, are still possible. If it comes a little bit farther off to the west, maybe around Panama City, that would increase our impacts, but they'd still be on the low end side for a tropical system. All right, so let's check out the modeling here, the European model, you know, pretty much the best. We got Franklin, and we have, of course, Idalia going into the Gulf of Mexico. I'm going to stop this on 8 in the morning on Tuesday, starting to get its act together there. We got Franklin over here, and then we'll keep working this through on time. We'll go to 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. and that's just offshore of Tampa Bay. Very large storm here and gaining power. What's going to be really problematic, if it does come in where most of the models are saying it's going to come in around Cedar Key, over around Perry, Florida, Taylor County, Florida. This area is super susceptible to storm surge. Everything is low-lying, and that water is going to get trapped because of the way the coastline is shaped like a funnel. It's going to create more of a storm surge than you would typically get for a Category 2 storm, say. So this is going to be likely pretty devastating in that area. Once again, it's just a very vulnerable area. I'm going to continue to put this in motion because I want to check something out in the long term. It's going to be kind of interesting. There's Franklin, and these two storms are going to be pretty close together once this works its way back out into the Atlantic. So it's going to cross over Florida, parts of Georgia, work its way along the East Coast, and get itself off the coast of North Carolina. And these two storms will be interacting out there. That could be interesting in the long term, but I don't think anything's going to come back and impact anybody else in the U.S. So the main thing is, once again, we're watching the storm. It looks like it's going to make impact somewhere in what we call the Big Bend region of Florida, where Florida makes that big turn there. Steinhatchee, St. Marks, Perry, Taylor County, Florida, Cedar Key, those areas. Very familiar to me because I'm from that area of Florida. So, and like I said, it's very vulnerable to storm surge. There's Franklin. It is a hurricane right now, and it's not bothering anybody at the moment, and it's going to be out here right now, winds of 100 miles per hour. So it's a nice, strong Category 2. It's going to go past Bermuda, and then Bermuda's going to have to keep an eye on it. Then it's likely to get out to sea. It's going to be a strong one, though. Look at that. It's going to be a Category 4 at one time. So Bermuda's going to have to keep an eye on that, but for the rest of us, not going to be an issue. Check this out, folks. 105. Yesterday, we hit 106 in Mobile, all-time record. Today, 105. That tied the old all-time record, but so now it's just the second hottest day ever. So first hottest day ever on Saturday, second hottest day ever on Sunday, tied for second hottest day ever on Sunday. Obviously, incredible stuff. We beat the old record of 97 by 8 degrees. That just never happens where you beat a record by 8 degrees. So just incredible stuff. So here's what that looks like on the big board here on the big map. Obviously, just awful stuff that we've dealt with this month. Not only is, so this weekend's the hottest weekend we've ever been through, ever. We've been keeping records since the 1880s here. Hottest weekend ever recorded. Hottest month ever recorded. Averaging nearly 99 degrees every single day. 99 degrees. I mention all this because thanks to some of the changes now with the tropical system and the upper level high backing off, there is going to be some relief this week. So I want to go ahead and give you a quick look here at the long-term forecast. Now, the rain chances do go up as well, which is a good thing. We need some rain next couple of days. See, Monday and Tuesday, good chance to rain. With Idalia making landfall likely to our east and we getting those north winds, I think Wednesday, Thursday, actually we probably dry right back out. And you notice the temperatures. They come down to something more bearable for this time of year. Now, keep in mind, 91 is still the average high. So most of the days this week will still be above average. But compared to where we've been, 106, 105, this is going to feel a little bit better as we head towards September. So got a lot going on. I do appreciate it. Once again, of course, you're going to be tracking Idalia. Let me put up this track one more time for you so you can see what we are looking at with this storm. Once again, we're looking at a late Tuesday, early Wednesday landfall, likely somewhere between Apalachicola and I would say Cedar Key, Florida. So that is what we're looking at right there. Once again, there could be some small changes in this track. We'll definitely be keeping you apprised of that. But one way or the other, this should come in, off to our east somewhere, and our neighbors over there in Florida are likely to be dealing with a nasty hurricane here this upcoming week. Within just a couple of days, really, it's going to be a fast-moving system, and fast-moving is good because fast-moving means a better chance that this track is right. Okay, the faster they move, that's because the steering currents are strong. It gives us a better idea of where it's going. So that's Idalia. We'll be keeping a close eye in the coming days. Thank you so much for joining us.